I'm ready.
Bitch, I don't care if you're ready. I was staring at the timer. How about that? Moving slowest. Happy, before we get, might as well say it after it just pissed me off. Happy Women's Equality Day. Because apparently they didn't know they're equals. They had to make it, a day that no one even knows exists, which isn't much equal. And, well, that puts them on a pedestal above everyone else, which isn't about equality. And they couldn't even defend what a woman was until a few weeks ago. So I'm not a biologist. Well, that's all I'm gonna say. Minus all that, hopefully everyone had a good week. Hopefully everyone saw the short that I put out yesterday with Kyle Petty's words on Kyle Busch. We will get Walter's take on all of that at a later day, or in about 20 minutes. We'll go with about 20 minutes, depending on how stupid the conversation gets about all the stupid going on. But curious, he has the note, so he shouldn't be confused as to what I'm curious about. But your take on all of those, because I thought when I put Byron and Larson, I really meant Byron and Ty. I was just trying to type. It was way too late. I was just typing way too fast. But I thought that
the
was
Byron and Dylan thing.
Gibbs,
I have my reserve.
Gibbs. Talking about the passes for the lead. I don't give a damn about Ty Dillon not being able to fucking drive.
Gotcha.
Let's go to the Ty that actually finishes in the top, 20.
Okay. More than... In defense of Ty Gibbs, even though I had my reserve feelings about him, I felt like
Sutton's in the back of my throat.
I was making sure you were okay before I kept going. But no, I feel like I've seen him do worse, seen him do better. I liked it though. I was more concerned with the second one you got on there. Granted, they're teammates, but he was really cordial about it. I can't guarantee I'd have been exactly. I couldn't have contained myself that long on TV. And two, I know I couldn't have contained myself well enough to do that kind of an interview and then immediately go and turn let loose. So kudos to him on that, but I feel like that could come back to haunt one of them two later this year.
Hey.
Not necessarily that I'm saying I want it to, because I don't.
I'm on Ty Gibbs' side more than I'm on Kyle Larson's side on this one. At least Ty and him, William, were sideways, side by side the whole race. It's just the inner loop, the bus stop, the chicane, the whatever the goddamn you want to call it now. Turn 4, 5, 6, and 7. Some people call it. I don't know.
Everybody likes to call it the bus stop.
Yeah,
I don't.
Everything. But yeah, at least they were racing hard next to each other and clean. He just got loose underneath them because you're not supposed to go too wide through there. That's kind of been historically known. So I get that. I mean, Kyle could say whatever he wants, and Cliff Daniels can say he's proud of him all he wants. He straight up went in there and dumped him. If he wrecked, I'm pretty sure Chase wouldn't have contained himself. I'm pretty sure. And he was.
That's a fair statement.
And he didn't on his radio. Anyone that he was less than enthused on his radio. And he was less than enthused talking to Rick after the match. After the interview, because you saw hands flying everywhere, and he no longer looked like happy professional Chase Elliott. He looked like I'd wring his neck if I could, Chase Elliott.
Well, I find it funny. It was roughly this time last year something happened between Chase Elliott and Kevin.
Well,
and Kevin tried to stay cool, but
Kevin was a grumpy old man.
Well, I'm just saying. And then this year something happens with Chase Elliott this time of year.
Hey.
He doesn't necessarily contain himself the whole time. He does for his interview, which that is way better than I am.
Yeah, and last year, I don't even Kevin was just a grumpy shit last year because nothing worked for him. That was literally just a that was just a racing thing right there too. That was more of a racing thing than what happened at Watkins Glen. And then
yes.
And here comes Chase, where he always drives down the
people. But at the same time, I have to play the devil's advocate though, because look at what happened between Kevin and Kyle Busch last year, and they were both like, "Oh, I'd have done the same thing." Kyle says.
Yeah, but They also both weren't racing for. But if they were both in the playoffs and had those incidents, it would have been a completely different. It would no longer be what I get it. It'd be, I'm going to punch this guy in the face.
Yeah.
The hell was that?
What it sound like?
Why do you move your microphone? I thought it was a child whining. You got all kinds of
No,
weird.
she's sleep. Dude, she's sleeping.
I didn't mean her.
Oh, the other one. Gotcha.
But
no, but anyways,
playoffs,
what I was getting at is you're probably right. When it comes to that situation last year with Kevin and Kyle, if it would have been playoffs, probably would have been different. But they both said the same thing.
Yeah.
I would have done the same thing. But I feel like that it shouldn't necessarily have happened between Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson, because I feel like those two are way closer with each other than the other ones.
And they could have. I just didn't like him locking. Sorry. Proud of you, buddy.
I mean, that side of the situation, no, I don't think
fourth,
Daniel should have said it that way.
Like if he wrecked him and he went down to like 30 something, if I was Chase, I would have waited till he was standing on the wall, celebrate. I would have just punched him directly.
You wouldn't have had to. If that would have happened, you'd have seen a Jack guy back down there again.
Someone would have hit someone in the face. And Chase, I just think Chase might have some kind of I think he drives anymore through this time of the year with his middle fingers extended, thanks to Denny and then Denny and then Denny. Pretty sure when it comes time playoffs, he just doesn't care. After Denny took him out,
I mean, you can't
forever in 3 straight years or so. Denny straight up dumped him into a wall so he could get a win, and Chase didn't go on in the playoffs. Like, it's funny how he keeps coming up, that one name. I
was just gonna say that some of the shit that happens to Chase Elliott when it comes into regards, like, no, I'm back. I'm gonna rephrase that statement. All the shit that happens to Chase Elliott in regards to Denny Hamlin deserves every bit of a middle finger right back to Denny Hamlin from Chase Elliott, on the track and off the track.
Denny's still a piece of shit.
But
that heart rate monitor behind you, you got like someone holding on for life.
I only want to remind me of it. Let's keep going.
Walter's dying. Beep. Beep.
Don't worry about that. It's my anti-criminal device over here.
That's what they all say. Anyway, yeah, you can keep going, but I don't know.
Did you by chance watch any of the ARCA races last week? I didn't remember which ones you said you did or did not watch.
I watched the one at the Glen. I didn't get to the dirt race. Heard it had one hell of an ending. I saw pictures of one hell of an ending.
Kofoid had a bad day.
Cars were on their side, blown to bejesus. Like it didn't
quite literally.
It didn't look like a lot of fun for any of them. I mean, I'm sure the guys when he
got out, he was looking after the race. He looked rough. Kofoid did, but granted, he, like you said, he literally landed.
Couldn't have picked a worse part of your body for the car to land right on that mother.
Yeah, that's.
Hey, at least
that's probably the hardest hit you can take in the car, minus coming straight down from like.
At least he didn't. I mean, yeah, I saw that ended. Everyone said they're going to end it at 4:00, and then when they announced they were ending it at 4:00, all hell broke loose. That's all I heard about it. As it got dumb, quick. Well, yeah, here's a good idea.
Don't do stuff like that.
Stop with the ARCA drivers. Anyway, yeah, you got about 7 seconds left.
Really?
And they probably, it's only the 3rd, 4th time it's happened this year alone. I mean,
it's mildly ridiculous. First of all,
we're racing to this timeline, and it's over. You start headbutting people, and things get ugly, and they're 100% justified in their ugliness. Because I'd be pissed. But no, I did not get to that.
Okay, well, that was a good race. Minus I mean, although it depends on who you're talking to, I guess, because I guess some people, their judgment on races is if there's wrecks or not. But anyways, it was a good race outside of Kofoid and his buddy there not having a great day. There was another race I wanted to talk about. You went over. Nope, I ain't gonna talk about that one. You already went over it.
So you guys,
we're good. All right, carry on. The other one I was gonna say.
Everyone's like, "Oh, give him the notes. It's easier." But he still doesn't read the damn things.
That's it. I had to double check.
I'll highlight it for you. You see, you should make your own notes off of my notes.
I should.
Or highlight my notes. So you go. So it's easier to just.
Oh yeah, right there. Yeah, I know. Don't remind me.
Go to Walmart. You know, they only charge you $3 for a pack of these, and it was the only thing up there that didn't have a price tag on it when it was hanging there. I'm like, that's probably a bad sign. Get up to the register, $2.72. I'm like, dirty, rotten bastards. I can get like 5 packs of index cards for the price of 4 highlight. I know it takes a lot more to make those index cards and trees and everything than it does.
It does a lot more.
Bastards.
Throughout the last week for World of Outlaws and the NOS Energy Drink Sprint Series, we had last Friday was Logan Schuchart won the race at the Jackson Nationals. Again in Jackson on Saturday, we had a winner with Carson Macedo. It's good to see him up there winning again. And then with the Case late model series from the World of Outlaws, we had last Friday at Williams Grove, Shane Carlton won. I just wanted to give a shout out because I forgot to say it last week. My boy, old man Donnie Schatz, won again. I forgot to say it. I don't
care what anyone says. That's Schatz. Don't care.
I'm just telling you how they pronounce it.
I will never call him. I've said it on the air before, on the thing. I'm not calling him Donnie Schatz. Sorry, what that is Schatz. Donnie Schatz.
Saturday.
Respect to the Jesus out of him. He's super talented, but that spells Schatz. It's like Cook Foods, Koch, but that's not Cook.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. That's not Cook. That's a doodle do.
Saturday, we had for the Case Late Model Series battle at the border at Sharon Speedway in Hartford, Ohio. Winner of that race was Devin Moran.
The hell of a name. Battle the border.
In Hartford, Ohio.
Yeah, it's just kept getting better.
Last night, we had the Case Late Model Series race at the Davenport Speedway. It was the Quad Cities 150 in Davenport, Iowa. Winner was your boy, Jason Figure.
Shout out to a wrestling superstar, Seth Rollins, because he's from Davenport, Iowa. That's where he still lives. He has a coffee shop in that town and his wrestling academy. So let's throw that out there. I mean, because Davenport, Iowa literally gets no love unless they're using the racetrack. No one cares. So shout out to Seth. Bada boom.
That's a fair statement. Silver Crown. Last Friday, we had a race at Madison, Illinois, Worldwide Technology Raceway. And the winner of that race was, again, Cody Swanson. Saturday night at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield, Illinois, it was rained out. They postponed it to October 15th. And that was the Silver Crown races. And then the National Sack Series. Last night, we had our first race of 3 at the Kokomo Speedway in Kokomo, Indiana. Justin Grant took the win.
Well, that stuff's got to be coming to an end, though. It's now rescheduling these things kind of has to suck because winter, I'm not trying to make any Game of Thrones references, but winter is coming. And believe it or not,
October 15th, you can sneak races in Indiana.
But it's coming. That's what that means to me, folks. That's what it means to me. If the NASCAR playoffs are getting set tomorrow night, That means all of this racing is going to go. Well, sorry, a lot of this racing is going to go bye-bye.
The last scheduled race for Indiana in the USAC National Series is the end of September. Did I say that right? Yeah, the end of September. But this one will push it out to October 15th.
Yeah. So it's just.
But after that race, all the rest of them are out west.
Yeah,
or way south.
It's beautiful. A lot of the racing, because all I'm getting at from around the country is gonna die down.
Yes.
The number goes down exponentially.
Our friendly certain series that just run.
Oh, yeah.
Just follow the country's weather. Literally.
Which is not a bad career move if you're really gonna make one. Let's just follow the what there's a distinct line when there and then there and then there and then just don't come
do this
above
series,
here.
Then we'll move to that series.
Yeah, just stay below this line and you're okay. So
yeah.
I mean, a lot of local tracks, if you guys want to see any of that stuff, get it in because a lot of those local tracks and all that, the season is coming.
If you want to see any of that after November, you're going to want to get a subscription.
Or also you can, if you have Pluto, which is free, you could download Pluto and Mav TV has a channel on there. So you might not be seeing it live, but they do replay.
You'll see more of it on there.
Yeah, they replay a lot of it, just run right through them all. So if you wouldn't need any racing, then besides a subscription, even though I think the deal is still good for Flow Racing for $6.99 a month right now.
I think it goes to the end of September.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got a chance to get that if you want to get those. But if you do not, Pluto is free. Mav TV is on there. It replays all kinds of races. I don't guarantee how fast they're going to have the things on there when you'll be able to catch it, but they are
pretty good.
Yeah,
I feel like
they have a lot of coverage, and again, it's through the Pluto app. Pluto's free TV, and you can watch it through there.
And a side note for everybody listening: if you do go that route, just a side note for everyone, food for thought. Mav TV and Flow Racing are partners. So there's a lot more that's going to be available than a lot of people think there is on there.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. So just again, quick throwing it out there, especially towards the end of the racing season, because even though it's only NASCAR never going away, but a lot of Midwest stuff has to cease to exist because it's not the winter weather they get
to exist.
Yeah,
the drivers weather, just migrate.
They go other places. With those guys in that area, if that's they kind of have to stop. Snow and ice and all that are not conducive towards.
That's why I tell people all the time: if you're going to get in a racing series in Michigan and you want it to be fruitful, you have to either get into a 600 micro sprint series, some form of a full-size sprint series, a modified series, or a late model series, or a sportsman car series. Because if you don't go to one of them 5 series, wherever you're at, consider your career there, and that's it. Because you can't travel elsewhere because a lot of those series don't travel. Like it used to be able to travel in mini cup cars. Not so much anymore.
No, it's a small big world, if that makes it's a really big world, but it's a really
small environment when it comes to racing.
Yeah, it's very but
that's a family.
Anyway, season's coming to an end for a lot of those tracks. So make sure again, Flow Racing has the deal right now. Mav TV is on Pluto. Pluto's free. You can download the app.
There's a lot more than just racing on Flow Racing, by the way.
But you see, he's killing my train of thought.
Sorry.
Not even allowed to, I told you you're a woman earlier. Time I start having a good thought. 3 words in. There it all goes. But
what can I say?
Pluto, all smart TVs have it under your apps. You could find it there if it's not in your thing and download it. And it really does to have Flow Rate, Mav TV and a bunch of the other. I mean, there's actually good stuff on there. Commercial breaks are ridiculous and long at times, but you get to see the racing. So who's complaining? Not me. I will complain that there's so many racing series off this weekend. Truck Series ain't racing. The W Series isn't going until October. ARCA West, American Flat Track, Moto America Superbikes, NHRA's off until Wednesday when they start the U.S. Nationals at IRP, and that's a 6-day thing. So there's going to be lots and lots and lots of drag racing to discuss during all of that. So don't be alarmed. There's going to be a lot of NHRA talk because those nationals.
It's one of those times.
Yeah, they know what time it is. Like we were just saying, they know everything's coming to an end. So they kind of have to. This is the big shebang. And then also IndyCar is off until September 4th when they're racing in Portland. I'm excited for that race, even though I think it's the second to last race of the season. Ergo, like I keep saying, it's coming to an end. Like F1 only has a few more weeks left. Like it's all the major touring series, they're all coming to their yearly see you later bye. It is coming. The stuff that's at least semi easy to catch because you can get American Flat Track on your DVR if you set everything to record all that. So
September 11th is the last race for IndyCar. Yep.
They're running, I believe, next.
I just couldn't remember. I wanted to verify.
Next weekend's in Portland. I don't care where they are. The last race. I know it's a road course of some sort. I'm just one of those. I'll talk about it when I get there. I just don't want it to be the end of it. They've actually had some really good races. You know, some stupid, but some good stuff. Pretty much like all of them. That means American Flat Track's coming to an end. Superbikes, their race isn't for another 2 weeks or so. That's coming to an end. Like it's coming, ladies and gentlemen. But there are actually a lot more races happening this weekend.
September 3rd is the last. Are you okay? Take a break. Good. September 3rd, also just for everybody to know, is the last weekend for motocross.
Since I had COVID, it feels like there's something there.
I feel you.
But motocross is racing this weekend, Ironman Raceway, Crawfordsville, Indiana. Again, coming to an end. And they got to wait until, I believe, January for Supercross, or February, around that time. And there won't be really anything else on, so it's easy to catch the races then. And they actually have a good TV contract. Compared to how much we normally complain, it's easy to find Supercross. Like they go out of their way, seemingly, to make it easy. And they have hours of just qualifying and people riding around on TV. They're going out of their way. So that's one good TV contract. Arca Menards, Sprecher 150 at the Milwaukee Mile on Sunday. Also the Arca East, so I'm guessing they're all doing the race together. As it's the same exact day at the same track, the same name. So at least we get to see the Menard Series and the East Series. The West Series is off until, I believe, next weekend, which is the season ender. I do believe so. Don't quote me on that. But the big exciting news is Formula One's finally back. After the cocksuckers took their weekend, their summer vacation.
I was going to say, you're going to say a week.
Yeah, hey, it's one of those days. They took forever off. But F1, 2, and 3 are all in Belgium as we speak. 2021 and F3, they had 3 races there. Lorenzo Colombo won the first one. Jack Doohan won the second and third one. Again, I expected, good things. I just don't know what the TV schedule looks like because it didn't tell me anything on their website. So don't quote me if it's actually going to be available to watch. I'm sure they're going to have some of it as they're making their grand return, but
that will be, if people do have it, Flow Racing should be having the F1 series stuff on there.
F2 again.
Well, and all the Formula series should be on there.
Tomorrow, Belgium. Feature race last year, Yuki Tsunoda won, rookie this year in F1. The sprint race was won by Robert Schwartzman. And then the big one, finally, F1. I've been waiting for an F1 race, even though this back half of the season tends to have the obnoxious start times.
Yeah.
But Sunday. 2022 Belgian GP, 9 a.m. ESPN. 9 a.m. isn't that bad on a Sunday. I mean, set your DVR if you're a church goer, if you have anything else you have to do. And it's actually really easy to fast forward through commercials and stuff through that. So you don't lose anything on that. Last year, Max won. I know. Shocker. Max winning races. I think he's going to do it again this year, unless someone figured something out over the break when they weren't even allowed to look at any of their notes or information. Like when they shut down F Series, what they actually shut down. Like they make it so you can't even log into your team's computers to do anything, right? Because they're watching all of it, which I think actually is fair. Keeps anyone from figuring anything out. But George Russell finished second for Williams. He's in way better equipment this year, so he'll be up there again. Lewis was third. Again, they've looked better, so maybe they figured something out. I don't know. Hopefully, it's a good race. Daniel Ricciardo finished fourth. Sadly, he's leaving McLaren at the end of the year. They made that announcement official. So never mind him having an option where he could decide if he wants to come back next year. They said, kick rocks, kid. We don't want you to come back next year. So
to answer your question, yes, both of them races are the same race. So there'll only be one. It's at 3.
Yeah.
I'm just going to finish saying it's right here. At 3 p.m. Sunday, August 28th, the 2022 ARCA Menard Series at the Milwaukee Mile. They're running together. Both series are.
Yep. Watch out.
That'll be a fun race.
Yeah.
Just because they're all together.
Extra chaos, and I love the Milwaukee Mile. It's one of those I never think gets its appreciation that it deserves.
It don't.
Great racing put on there. Charles Leclerc was 8th last year. Carlos Sainz was 10th. Mick Schumacher 16th, which is one ahead of his old teammate Mazepin. Finished 17th. And Sergio Perez was 19th. Again, we all know that Max is going to be up there. We know the Ferraris are going to be good. We know Sergio is going to be, again, barring stupid. We know that the Mercedes finally actually look like they can at least try to compete. So we all know the cast of characters are going to be there. It's just, can anyone beat Max? That's really what it still comes down to for me, because, well, no one's really done it consistently this year. So
no,
not trying to be a dick to anyone, but I mean, at one point, I think we were like 8 races in. He won every race that he finished except for one, and he was up at like 7 of the 8 races. I mean, if you take the ones he finished, he won 7 of the 8. Like, yeah, it was that's an obnoxious level of beat him, and I'll believe it.
Yeah,
but I think it'll be good. I want to see what Mercedes has. It's 2 straight double podiums behind Max. I mean, that's way better than they started. That was impeccable. Look where Lewis was back at the start of the season compared to when they went into break. That was a big improvement. All he was good for was going like this as he went down the racetrack. Continuously just shit whipping himself, and everyone telling him to quit crying because he came out and said the car's a piece of shit. And apparently that's offensive to some people. Call me crazy. I mean, well, the car's driving like a piece of shit. At least he came out and said, what? It's a piece of shit. He didn't sugarcoat it. He didn't try to make you people feel better about it. This thing sucks. Yay, when the peasants rejoice. I was okay with it personally. I think that's kind of the stuff you got to do in certain situations. You're not going to make anything better by being nice. I mean, when
not in racing.
When the whole world sees that your car's bouncing up and down and you're not even pretending to be fast, I mean, might as don't go and be like, we're doing great. We're figuring it out. This car. I understand that. Like, I think that's better all over, no matter how pissy Toto Wolff got about it. I think they're doing the right thing, and it was the right thing to do. Just like Kevin, when all those years ago, where he was calling out his pit crew every week. But I'm tired of going from 1st to 15th every pit stop.
And that was all the way up until 2020 when he was still winning races.
They need to get better now. All right, it's a lot more fun to win these things when you don't have to pass the whole field 4 times because your pit crew sucks. Easy, Kevin.
Easy, I mean, to a degree, you got to understand. The dude's working harder than anyone else on the track just to win the race that you've won 4 times over in one race.
I'm on his side. Hey, I'm on his side. Just like Lewis when he was saying it. You got to be hypercritical in the world of racing. What? Everyone can see through your bullshit anyway.
Everybody used to call me shenanigans because I'd say it, but you know what? I've always called out that guy they had as the rear tire guy for a while. I was sick and tired of that guy.
Farver, what's that restaurant you like with all the shit all over the wall? Oh, you being shenanigans? Oh, thank you, Super Troopers.
Yep. But I'm just saying, like, it's understandable. I mean, if somebody's in the wrong and like, especially in 2020, he had to win races 3 or 4 times in one race just to be able to win the race because you could guarantee he was going to screw up in the pits.
You know what the worst thing is, though? When the cars were that fast and he made up for it, it's amazing how at the end of that season, and then last year and this year, before he started winning, when they were really, really off for some reason, then the pit crew wasn't going to over nearly as much. It's amazing. The car was slow. Pit crew was fine. Car's really fast. Hey, at least the pit crew sucked when you could pass cars. If they were going to pick a time to suck,
that's the time to do it.
Damn good time to not suck last year, because I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have just slammed that helmet off the roof of the car after Bristol. Pretty sure he would have slammed it into his pit crew guy's face. I'm just saying, besides that,
that would have not been the race to have something like that happen.
I agree with them. Like everyone, again, I don't know how much F1 practices and stuff you get, but hearing some of them, be honest. Don't be like, yeah, the car's all right. Like, no, it's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. What people telling him
interview one of them crew chiefs? I bet you they'll tell you the truth.
Some of those people telling him that were in the Mercedes camp telling him that he shouldn't, he should get over it. Like, are you the one going 200 miles an hour going the whole time? Because they're only sitting that far off the ground. What are you doing? What? How about you sit your old fat ass in the car? You drive around at those G's, bouncing your spine off the ground, and see how you feel after the first couple 100 miles. Bet you'd be bitching about your back too.
If I was racing with my back the way it is, if I came in and then they complained about me saying something about the car, I'd have to go, okay, that's it. Come here for a minute. I'm going to slam you on the ground a couple of times, screw your back up, then stick you in the car and send your ass out there. And then you tell me if you don't think it's a problem.
Yeah. So
that would be my response. I'd probably have a ride the next weekend, but hey.
And this is the part where people should chime in and comment. Do you think, I think you should straight up be like, what, the car's a piece of shit? Like, it really is. Sorry.
It's the truth. Honestly,
don't like it, but you're putting all these millions into making this, rocket ship, and it's blowing my spine out. Sorry.
Quote that interview from Kevin Harvick about Kyle Busch. What did he say? Even though we've had our issues, that was that. I still would like to have him teammate, because the more there is there, the more talent, the more skill, the more ability. I'm just going to be faster than him again.
Hey,
it's just going to help me be faster. Yeah. His words. So why not be honest about it?
So that's my big thing. Again, I know he just went on a big spiel about it.
Kevin,
but there's a good
Kevin defended you.
Yeah. Hey, there's my big spiel though on it. So everyone comment, but I think through all of it, the cars have gotten better because he was such a dick about it. So they had no choice. Either you're going to fix it or he's going to keep saying it's a piece of shit. Why he's not shutting up. He shouldn't shut up. Being hypercritical is how you make things better, especially in the racing world. But you know what? We're not fast, but this sucks. We just went from winning 7 straight championships pretty much to...
And that's across all racing. Yeah. That's from these big series guys. And you can go to your local track and watch the little micro sprints that the little 6-year-old kids are racing in. They're competitive about it. Yeah. Trust me. You see one of them 6-year-old kids get out of there and come in second, third, or fourth that knew they could have won. Them kids are throwing their helmets. They're kicking shit. It is ugly. And guess what? That goes all the way up the skill level because they don't like to lose.
Yeah, if you're not in the game to win, why the hell are you in the game? Just saying. But again, comment on that.
I'm going to quote a movie. We'll quote a movie on this one.
Hit the pace car.
It doesn't matter whether you're winning by 1 inch or 1 mile. Winning is winning.
Remember, it's not one, it's a mile. An inch or a mile. Winning is winning. Man might have been onto something. Just saying.
I like that guy. I don't give a shit what anyone says.
But again, comment. Let us know. I think personally, if he's not being hypercritical, he's not doing his job. When he's not, your point is to be out there, especially for driving for Mercedes AMG, not like that many championships.
That's no name group. That's AMG's known for certain
superior,
series.
For being superior and hell, from street cars up.
Yes.
They put a lot of time and money into those things. So
their GT abilities it's just there.
So I'm just going to leave it at that. Like, that was necessary, and I'm happy that he did it. Gets to the Xfinity Series, the Wawa 250. I really don't like them calling it a Wawa 250. I'm offended by that sponsor. Because I got a Wawa right by mom's back home. Then I get to roughly about 3/4 of the way down through Virginia to get back here, and I don't see another Wawa again. What the hell are they do? A Wawa 250 in Florida? What? I couldn't, but there's not one inside of a bejesus of a mile near me. Well, you just stop here and say, Caroline, what? I want my Wawa back. Hell, or sheets.
It's kind of like case management offices in Michigan for the VA, huh?
Why do I have to keep building? Like, why do they have to keep giving it like Circle K's pop up on every corner? It's like Dollar Generals. You're in the South. What, a Dollar General and a Circle K keeps popping up everywhere. Can't I just have one Sheets or one Wawa? I don't want to have to drive all the way to the goddamn Raleigh airport.
I feel that way about Circle K. There's Circle K's all over when you leave here.
Just to see a Sheets.
Nothing.
Hey, come by me. We could drive to 9 different Circle K's in 5 minutes. Sadly,
that is not a joke.
I'm not even joking. Like, there's literally some
roads.
I
think I've been to most of them, unless there's a new one or two.
No, there's a lot of new ones. Oh, there's a million. New ones.
Well, minus the new ones, I've been to most of them.
there's Circle K, like the one as you left Piney Green Gate, like the one that they got bought out by Circle K, and there's Circle K now. And then the one that was on the other side of the road is always like there's literally Circle K's like face like.
Well, that's like up north. That's Speedway's that way. Literally, they have a big gas station, and then you go across the street and down about a 1/4 mile, and they have another standard gas station. It's like,
hey, at least doesn't make any sense. But anyways, that's my take on that. I want a Wawa. Someone, please, for the love of God, Wawa. Someone again, share this to those cocksuckers. Give me a Wawa. I've had enough Circle K's. There's only so many tornadoes and chicken sandwiches and shit you can eat before you want to, like, I don't know, a fresh sandwich that you pick everything that goes on it. And they're like, here you go. And you're, thank you, God. Sorry, tornadoes are good, but this isn't the Marine Corps where I'm trying to get food in my gut as quick as humanly possible in my 10-minute lunch break. So I just grab a bag of those, a Monster, and call it a day. God, I'm older than that. Leave me alone. Powered by Coca-Cola tonight, 7:30 on USA. I got the top 10 from last year, wrote down, Justin Haley won, AJ was second. I'm expecting the Collie guys to be good. It's a plate track. They always run well together. Why do you think they won so many in a row? I think they're just good. Allgaier, Jeb Burton, Hemrick, Bell, Noah, Myatt, Snyder, Harrison Burton, and Riley Herbst. And again, I really didn't even want to write that down because it's Daytona. And all of those guys could go into turn one on the first lap and no longer be in the race. So, it's one of those. I do like that there's a bunch of people, like Patrick Emmerling, driving the 5 for Jessica Smith McLeod. There you go. Congratulations, BJ. You put someone else's name on the car. Yeah. I still like BJ McLeod. Sorry. I think he's one of the guys that does it right. So anytime I can, any kind of shout out to BJ, I think
that guy is another one of those that no matter how you look at it, the guy is all about racing.
And he's violently underappreciated, which is my big problem with
Ford owes him and Tony Stewart.
Yep, they do. Well, you tried to deny it, but you're like that lady that's a kayak denier in that commercial. Open your eyes. Like, easy killer. But Haley's driving the 14 for Colleague, so Amy Smith is getting another start for Gibbs in the 18. I like him. I'd be pissed if I was him. If I was him at Watkins Glen last weekend. I'm pretty sure he's rightfully pissed because that was his. But again, you like Taylor Gray.
Yeah.
He went in there, but he drove it as hard as he could. We saw people that are road course guys like Michael McDowell lock it up into turn one. I mean, but the last restart after you lead 39 to 41 laps, I'd probably be pissed if someone smoked it. And I don't like one lap. I'm gonna get back to Watkins Glen on a road course. The ARC series only does green and white simultaneously and gives them a 1-lap shootout. I don't think that's fair to those guys at that driving level to have someone possibly just smoke it into one. A wreck happens and you don't get to keep racing to the line. I think that's stupid.
Speaking of Watkins Glen, I'm sure you probably talked about it on Monday. I'm pretty sure I've seen it in your notes even. but I'm going to say my feelings on it. Ross Chastain, I can't
yeah.
wait till somebody hits you so hard in the rear end. They literally take both your car and their car out because you're a dumbass. That gentleman you hit, he don't race again this year. But I'm almost gut feeling he'll be back at least 2 races next year, if not one.
You know what the worst thing is? He's his fucking teammate.
Wow, really?
His teammate. He didn't even get into him though. He got into Austin, which like it was just let Ross start.
I'm saying cluster. His ignorance,
Ross
though. His ignorance
Ross ruined a lot of people's days.
No, I'm not gonna say ignorance. That's giving him credit. His stupidity in that decision making last week.
And guys, hey, we defended him, but guess what?
For a long time, but now it's past ignorance.
Now it's
this is just stupid decision making.
This many times, like you ruined Austin's day, Kimmy's day, and then you got into Chase Briscoe and ruined his day as well. Like there was a lot of stupid.
You took 2 guys out that should most definitely been a top 10, if not a top 5 or win contender in a matter of one stupid choice.
They were right there. They were right there all day. I mean, they were close in the top 15. Chase won stage 1. You know,
if they would have made it to the last 50 miles of the race, I have a feeling they wouldn't have been out of the top 8. I feel confident in saying that. Neither one of them two. I just want to throw it out there, get my feeling out there because it was
that pissed me off. But back to good things. Joe Nemechek, everybody, make sure you watch the race tonight. Joe, front row Joe, he's probably not starting anywhere near the front row, but damn it, he's still front row Joe to me in that 87 Bell South car. I still see it. The man ran fast. He's driving tonight in the 24 for Sam Hunt. John Hunter's in the 26 for Sam Hunt this week. So we will have both Nemecheks in one race. And then Recky's in the 48 for Scott Borchetta. Again, we all know college guys and the junior motorsport guys are going to be running together. Like they stick together. Like they're going to be there.
Barry.
You know how it's going to end with wrecks and stupidity. I can't tell you, but the teammates will be running together. And then, well, it's Daytona. Stupid's going to happen.
I really hope junior motorsports cars either do together at the very front or together at the very back.
Yeah.
Don't sit in the middle. We all know this. It's Daytona. Ricky's running. Come on. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Just don't.
So that's all I got for, again, I want to give more predictions, colleague and junior. And guess what? The Gibbs guys are going to run together too. But teammates will be with each other until it gets to crunch time and they have no choice but you. Yeah. So watch out for that and mayhem lurking around every corner. I'm still remembering to this Super Bowl commercial, New Year's Eve commercial, where Mayhem said he was done being Mayhem for his New Year's resolution. I was very sad. Then by the next morning, I'm like, yay, like he's back. Mayhem, like me. Hey, I don't like commercials. Those things still make me laugh. So leave me alone.
I like him.
Yep.
That guy is entertaining.
That Coke Zero Sugar 400 tomorrow night on NBC. So it got the mothership. It's not relegated to USA Network, even though USA I don't think's done that bad, except for they just advertised Austin Dillon's show too much. And when they're advertising the race for the championship thing, they're showing cars that haven't even been in the series for 2 or 3 years wrecking. Like you've done this many races this year, you couldn't find a 2-second snippet of a car that's still in the Cup series. That kind of makes him look bad. But Blaney won last year. Buescher was second. Bubba's third. Again, no matter what you say about Bubba, he can run on plate tracks. He's good with that whole air thing, and he's good on road courses. So if anyone says I'm a dick, I'm going to throw that out there nicely. Newman was fourth. Priest was fifth. So you have to love this top. Like, it just keeps getting better. You got Blaney, Buescher, Newman, and Priest all in the top 5.
Yeah, you're not going to see that number 6 car in the top 5 this year.
Yeah, you got Reddick, sellout ass, finished 6th, Justin Haley 7th, Bowman 8th, Chase 9th, and BJ McLeod. There he is again, rounding out the top 10. I didn't write anything else. Wonder why? Because again, I didn't want to write that because we could go into hell. We don't even. Someone could miss a shift.
I will say though, if you're going to look at this list, one name that's on there that's
going into the start and
that's not only underrated. BJ McLeod is good on speedways. As long as some stupid ass doesn't do something stupid to him, he will probably be at the top 10, 15.
he's competitive at it. It's just, again, we could go into the Korean flag could go, someone could miss a shift and not go. And we could have a 15, 20 car pile up right there from Jump Street. And, well, then none of that matters. So it's the only bad thing about this weekend. Like, all it takes is someone.
I just had to say that because he deserves his due at speedways.
He's always like, he can drive. It's just his stuff will never, ever be to a competitive level with the rest of them, even if they'll allegedly have the same car, but there's still stuff that people could with. No matter what.
I mean, you got to take into consideration. Granted, he has his alliance for the engines and stuff through Stewart-Haas, but his engineering abilities at Stewart-Haas versus the engineering abilities at his shop, the difference between the two is there's a difference in money.
Yeah.
First of all,
no matter what, they're not going to be as competitive as.
I'm not saying that they don't know what they're doing, because that would be an absolute.
They just don't have the. They just don't have the financial capabilities to
exactly
be as good as the guys they're getting their motors from. It's kind of like all those teams that Joe Gibbs shut down, technical alliances, because they couldn't afford to keep up with them. Because they tried.
Well, I was going to say, I was going to try not to say it, but the whole time sitting here talking about this, I'm like, at least Tony Stewart doesn't put his partners out of business.
Furniture Row, gone. The 95 Procore car, even if you watch those commercials on USA for NASCAR racing for the championship and you see the son of a bitch wrecking like it was last week. No, that was 2 years ago. 3 years ago, actually. Sorry. 2 years ago, it put us in 2020. That was the year before that, because heaven forbid they could find another car. But they're just, I mean, they shut down a lot of people. Like those big teams. That's why I give Stewart at least that much. It's not.
They don't try to shut down all their teams.
Here you go. Here's equipment. What we're not going to make you, give us this many millions a year to be like. They're letting them. He's letting BJ be BJ and do all of his BJ things, and not be like, well, we're running your whole team. Deal with it, even though they don't have the money to do that. And then they all go away, or they just right here sell the Charger. What we're done with it. People are burnt out within like 2 years. It's kind of amazing how much people are there. Then well take the thing, we're out. But David Reagan's running this race in the 15 for Rick Ware. That's exciting. He can plate track. Watch out, unless something dumb happens. He can plate race. He's good at it. Henrik's driving the 16 for Colleague this week. Obviously ties in the 45, probably for the foreseeable future. And Noah's in the 62 for Beard Motorsports. Maybe that means we'll see South Point out there on a car again. That's always Gon's deal right there. Still love it. Beard Motorsports. Bastard stole my name. But should be exciting racing. I'm more interested in other things for the rest of it. We got, and I wrote down another thing since we started. Your take on how they handled the weather at the beginning of the Cup race at Watkins Glen. Like, I thought that was abysmally shit. I understood the lightning, so they couldn't do anything. But then do the national anthem, wait 8 minutes to give them the command so they could drive around for a few minutes, even though you could barely clearly see standing water like that high in some places, to waste all that time to then put them back in pit road and stop it till they could get the standing water off the track and wait for the track to pretty much dry out. Like, that was dumb.
Well, I asked, my first question would be, I feel like the question I would ask is, even though I think the answer, I already know it. Did NASCAR make that decision? If so, that guy needs to be fired. Secondly, if it wasn't NASCAR, I feel like it wouldn't have been a broadcasting call. So it's not them. That goes to the track people. Someone somewhere has made a decision between one of two organizations, either the track or NASCAR.
I'm putting it on NASCAR
to do that. And I think it's really stupid because you know how it is. I listen back and forth between Kyle Larson's radio and Kevin Harvick's radio faithfully. I go back and forth between the two of them. And when I'm listening and I'm sitting there listening to Kevin go, yeah, we got to do something different. I can't drive like this. I have water pouring, not leaking, pouring in my roof. Shit's getting wet. Electronics are getting wet. I'm hearing Kevin say this. I'm hearing Kyle say it. I probably could have switched to Kyle Busch or Martin Truex and heard the same thing.
No, you wouldn't have heard the same
thing. They should not have. Well,
you wouldn't have heard the same thing coming out of Kyle Busch's mouth. There would have been
the same topic.
There would have been a long list of just beep, except it wouldn't beep, obviously. I just but fuck. We're going. There's someone holding the radio, just like cue the mic. Why? not listening to this shit.
But I'm just saying, like, it's stupid. And if I was a car owner, from the littlest guy to the biggest guy, I'd have been like, no, I'm not putting my car through a lake out here in the fucking first turn.
No, that was, again, though, the track had trucks out there. So that couldn't have been like, they were literally parked in the lakes, trying like that. And they deal with rain all the time. For some reason, no offense to NASCAR, every time rain's involved.
And I know this is going to
get Coda last year.
Soapbox.
There you go. Coda last year.
Erosion control is not that difficult to learn and understand. If my stupid ass can get it, anyone can get it.
It's another series will drive through, you know.
Well, you're not going to go.
Puddles.
You can't take a car that low.
Well, no.
I'm going to say it, a lake. You cannot take that through a lake.
Especially
that's what that shit was.
They just, again, that's why I'm putting it on NASCAR. Look at Coda last year. Kevin went from literally driving to underneath someone because he didn't fucking. Like, and then all the spotters probably couldn't even see a damn thing either. They're just looking at the in-car going, what the hell just happened? Because he literally went from not knowing there's anyone in front of him in less than a second to underneath someone. Like,
and I remember watching the replay of that. It literally went about a second or so. Nothing, blink, crunch.
Yeah.
You like seen one flash of the legs on the back of the window, and that was it.
He had, like, they're not really known for making good decisions with weather. Comes to rain. Any kind of weather. What they're just dumb.
I mean, rain on the track though. They're not. Yeah. They're going down.
Shouldn't have. They shouldn't have. I just thought it was dumb that they wasted 8 minutes in between everything to run laps on the track that we could see just from the TV angles that they gave us, and just to pull them back in. Like, they shouldn't have run. Like, it should not have even come to the point of, like, what, we're delaying it until this long. Why? So we can get the standing water off the track from the torrential downpour, instead of running laps and wasting equipment and chasing many guys needing to get another helmet because the radios just said get inside of their helmet because everything got wet. Like, that was just, again, another kind of, like, you didn't not see the standing water.
It's a business.
With the amount of cameras you have around the track. You know, you got enough. You got that many trucks on the track looking at it. You got that many TV cameras looking at it. Why the hell did it even start? That was, especially when you saw the radar completely clear after that. Why not push it back another 20 minutes if you're going to be sitting there waiting for them to blow standing water off the track?
Didn't know how deep it was, because when those guys were going through with the long line blowers, the jet sweep blowers, those ones, the real thin guys, those guys were spraying hard. And every time it hit the water, instead of blowing it off the track, it blew some off the track, and it was just right back over. That tells you it's not just water on a track. That's a lake coming. Like, you have water staying.
That's so again, I just thought it was really stupid. I figured you'd agree, but that was dumb. Kyle Petty on Rowdy. I don't think that you could literally tell a man he's earned every right to make as much money as he wants to and ask whatever his asking price is. He's won all these races and championships, and then call him selfish in the same time. Like, you literally can't say he's earned it and then call him a selfish bastard. Literally.
Well, we kind of talked about this the other day. I feel like Kyle Petty is not a person to talk about anything when it comes to skill and ability and pay, because, the only reason why he has half of what he has is because of his dad.
Yeah, like I said, watch the short. It was a good one.
I will call it like it is. Dale Jr. earned his right.
Yeah, Dale Jr. I mean, he had more success just at Daytona and Talladega in those few short years than Kyle had his whole career, especially back then, because it was super competitive back then. Like, the only reason he got that many opportunities wasn't from winning races and stats.
Yep.
That was because his daddy was the king, and now he's the king's son on broadcasting, even though I do think he does. I think he's very competent to have in the broadcast thing, because, I mean, he's been around his whole life, so he does get it. But
he is knowledgeable about the sport. There's no doubt. I mean, you can't take that. His knowledge is there. It's just his skill does not justify some of the things he said.
And I have a problem, like, with that. It's just, like, why? Like, what the hell's the point of, like, even running your suck about it? And especially when you're saying you need to stop being so selfish. There's some tidbits that, Kyle must have forgotten that.
And if Kyle was so wrong and in the wrong, why did Kevin Harvick in that interview just a few weeks ago defend him?
Yeah, I mean, but he just wants.
I mean,
He's like,
they're all three
hey,
drivers, so why would
he's just
one?
because he's going. He got and Dale Jarrett suddenly went from saying one thing to jumping on Kyle's bandwagon after he said that. I'm just going on the never mind what people say. Kevin just likes to stir the pot. That's what
Well,
I'm putting
yeah,
that on.
but I think truthfully,
Kevin's going, and this is what I mean it, but it'll piss people off and confuse them even more. But
yeah.
Denny drives for the same team. He got an extension. Martin, he drives for him. He got Bass Pro and a year extension, which means he's getting paid that much money. Joey Logano just got an extension with Shell Pennzoil and Penske. All of them did. So why are they all good people? But he's a selfish bastard for asking for just as much money as everyone else is getting.
I told you, I don't know
sketchy.
who it is, but someone
Something
somewhere is running
sketchy
some
in there.
interference.
Something
Don't
is
know
going
who.
on. Something is happening. Hell, it could be Kyle Self for all we know. We're sitting here defending him. Something sketchy is happening though on someone's.
Oh, I'll be pissed if for one time I actually am truly wholeheartedly defending him and he comes up and makes me wrong. I'll be pissed.
But
never defend him.
Again. It's thanks. But again, selfish. Like why everyone else is asking for just as much money. Why Martin's a past champion? He's getting champion money. What makes Kyle a bad guy for not wanting to drop his value just to settle? Like, sorry, you want his services, you're gonna have to pay the son bitch.
And that was the reference I was getting at with that interview. Is
and
that was word for word what Kevin was getting at.
And he has especially, because if he leaves Toyota there, KBM's probably leaving and going with them. So there's a lot of
fallout that could come from it.
There's a lot of things that happen because of this one decision. So I think Kyle should shut up, win some races. Then you'll have the right to. Jesus Christ, again, all they do on air is just talk shit about Kyle Petty and how many times he wrecked, because that's all he did. Wally Dallenbach blew up, Kyle Petty wrecked cars. It's pretty much what they did. It was Wally to the wall and back. You don't have you can't be making your whole life off of your dad's name. And then again, you can comment, tell me I'm an asshole. I'm right. I'm a very true asshole. Listen to the short. It's there. And then the last one again, now Kurt withdrawing his medical waiver to be in the playoffs. End of the road. I said it when he first went down. End of the road, past this many weeks later. And he's old again. So the concussion, the older you get, the worse your brain is at recovering from these things, obviously, because your body takes a longer time to recover from things the older you get. Allegedly, I still heal great. I still heal like I did when I was 8 years old. But at end of the road, I don't think
the person filling in for him, being who it is, it's the end of his road. There's no way around it. It's the end of Kurt's road because of who's filling in for him. There's no chance in it changing.
Yeah,
no offense to him.
Fuck
Denny Hamlin, Michael Jordan.
Yeah, but
I'm really disappointed with them too.
You got to think though, because if Kyle's out, it'd make more sense to put Ty in there than to put him in there to keep him in house.
I'm just being openly honest about it.
Oh, so am I. I just that one though. They said they don't want him to because they don't want to see him do what everyone else did. But then he started running cup races, which I think makes a conundrum. But him going to the 18 makes more sense to me.
Him getting
from a business aspect and all that.
I'm gonna lay it out like this. This is how I see it.
But Monster signed with Kurt over there, and they're also signed with Ty. That's one of those really what the did they do kind of things. Even though I don't see Monster, I don't see Monster dipping out if he goes to the 18. I see Monster following him.
Well, in regards to Monster will follow Kurt Busch and Ty Gibbs.
Yeah,
their decision making for what they're doing will be not. They don't give a fuck about who
they don't have to worry. Yeah, they don't have to worry about. I say he has that at least going for him. If Kurt sticks around, he'll still have Monster.
But what I will say,
if Ty takes over the 18 and Kurt comes back, they'll still put Monster on his car. Just like they have Herbst and him, two different manufacturers, two different teams.
In regards to the Monster and Ty to the 45, if Kurt Busch doesn't come back, they will never see that Monster energy on the number 45 again. Period. I'm gonna let 23XL know that right now.
But if
Monster will follow Kurt Busch.
Yeah, I'm saying, but if he retires, they'll keep it on.
He retires. He's not retiring from racing. He's just retiring from NASCAR. I can say that right now.
They're gonna.
Monster and they'll follow him.
Monster will follow Ty.
Oh yeah, I'm not denying it. They will
He goes
follow
to the
him too.
45. He goes to the 45.
I'm just saying, like
Munster will still be on that
23XL
car.
has no gain by Kurt Busch leaving because Ty Gibbs won't be in that car next year. He'll go to the 18, and this is my view because this is what's been set up by those idiots. Ty Gibbs is going to 18. Kyle Busch is out. Kurt Busch is getting forced out. Tyler Reddick pissed off Richard Childress, announced this thing a year and a half. Really, guess what? He ain't going to be at Richard Childress next year. He'll be at 23XL next year. Watch me. Mark my words on it. He will be there. I already see this happening just because of how shady some of this shit happens with Toyota. This has nothing to do with Michael Jordan. This has nothing to do with Ty Gibbs. This has nothing to do with Kurt Busch.
There's nothing to do with Denny even. How about that?
Yeah, it don't. And I'm saying that openly because it does not have anything to do with them. It's straight up. I'm telling you, Toyota is screwing up by allowing this shit to happen the way it's being set up right now.
All I ask is don't let Reddick leave, because I could just already, there's one name I could top of my list who would take over that car just because they love nepotism in that race team. And he doesn't deserve a cup ride.
He won't get it.
He finished 14th at Sonoma, Watkins Glen, wherever the fuck we just were.
Childress can't afford getting screwed anymore. He's not coming there. He can't afford to lose no more money. Like, he's losing a lot of money. He's not bringing people.
I mean, he's not bringing sponsors with him. So, I mean, there's our one saving grace, but you could 100% see.
Oh, just for the family. Yeah.
Him bringing Jackass.
Yeah.
Why? I only got to pay you like $12. Why? You suck. You jackass. What sponsor? They're like, what? We'll give you the money. What? We're not paying his salary though.
But that would be ignorant on Childress's part, because he could easily go. That. Oh yeah, he's good. Yep. Mm-hmm. Hey, yeah, but you want to ride in the Cup Series next year?
Yeah, sadly though, I mean, look at all the rides that Ty's gotten. He's always found a way to get sponsors. Again, because of who he is. It's not from. I mean, he could be very good for the sponsors. We never see stuff like that. But I'm sorry, no matter how good you are for the sponsors, when you're struggling to get top 25s, like, you don't.
He's no good for a owner, so I can care less about the sponsors. Sponsors only pay the owner so much.
Mister, I'm gonna win a race and a championship in the Cup Series. I still believe that. Like, dude, you can't finish in the top 25. Like, he has sporadic ones. I know. Heaven forbid he has some sporadic ones. Consistently, he's in the back quarter of the field, which not very impressive.
But I do think this is Kurt being done with NASCAR and not on his own terms. I'm going to openly call that out.
Which is why I hope he does at least get to go for an ending shell though next year, just to come back and do it proper because of how long he's been there and his passion for the sport and how good the last couple of years since he went through all the storm, and since he's gotten his head back, he's been super good for the sport, both on and off the track, in the booth, for sponsors, making appearances, like all of that. Like, I hope he gets to go out.
Ever since Daytona in 2017, he's been a different person.
Like, I hope he gets to go out properly. And hey, if he has to sit out the rest of the year in order to do it, I'm okay with that. He got to win this year. He proved he could still do it. He went out there and won a race. I mean, it wasn't like he's backdoored his way in there. Like, he didn't back in like Denny likes to accuse people of, even though he backed into every win he's got this whole year, but that's another story. I hope he gets to come. Like, I'm okay if he takes the year off this rest of the season. Now, I mean, it's over at this point. What's the point? You're not in the playoffs. You're not going to do anything. You've missed that many races. Just sit home, rest, get your brain and your body right. Talk to Edge, the wrestler, because he's got all kinds of like stuff, because he had to retire, like, to help strengthen all the tiny muscles in this, even up here onto, like, all of it around the neck, the little ones, to keep you from getting concussions. And if it's helping him not get concussed at 40-something, getting slammed into the ring, then I think he should figure out all that and get with someone to get his body perfectly right so he can go out properly next year. I wouldn't have said that if this was like 6-7 years ago. Like, what? Just let him go. What? He's lost it. Let him go. What? He was a detriment to himself, teams, NASCAR.
Well, like I said, though, 2017 at Daytona, the start of that season, he won it, and he's been a different person.
This Kurt deserves to go out on his own terms.
Ever since he started getting into the whole,
since he got rid of his ex
and everything,
but
when he got involved heavily with the GT stuff, that was when he just became a different person. Like, he mentally changed. Yeah, wholeheartedly, he changed.
Went around telling the whole world he was beating her and all kinds of stuff, which just sent his whole world even farther into a spiral. Then it turned out nothing happened. That's what they investigated. He was right. Like he just first, I don't care how much you like him or don't like him as a driver, for how long he's been there, for every, like, he deserves to go out properly. All of them do, except for Ty.
And it's not like he's not good.
Ty doesn't deserve to bow out gracefully
You can
into
look
his own terms.
before that period of time, and you can look after that period of time. The dude is talented.
Greatness.
Period.
Now look what he was doing in those garbage cars while he was going through all that. He was still running pretty damn good when he had the track to do it.
Yeah.
Didn't have the car, but damn it, when he got to short tracks and road courses, he said hello, and he was there.
I'm still here.
So yeah, there's my bit. I didn't see anything else. Again, Logano got an extension. Blaney got an extension. Yeah, there's that stuff, but we all saw those coming. We knew they weren't going to get rid of Joey. We know they aren't going to let Blaney walk out the door. They made that clear when he drove for the Wood brothers. Like he wasn't going anywhere. So that's not really groundbreaking, altering news to me. Bubba's extension, whatever, DoorDash can give him all the money they want. He's still not going to win anything. He does look, hey, he does know how to road race, though. No matter what they stick him in. Well, you just cover your face. Second I said it, he got his deal. We all know why he got his deal, but he can race on road courses. And I still want to say it's amazing how we went from saying, stop crying about finishing second. And now he's had a bad run and finished 35th last week. Don't dwell on the, oh my God, I came and be excited that you got 4 straight top 10s. Keep your head on straight. Don't be all boo-hoo sad. Woe is me because you didn't win.
To Kevin Harvick at Michigan. I wouldn't complain. I would take that as a decent run.
Especially as like your first string of 4 straight top 10s in your career and all that. Like,
I wouldn't dwell on it.
It's convenient that he went from crying, saying how bad he felt, and just, I won't worry about the positive. I'm going to be thinking about this one for a long time, to literally 2 of your worst races the whole season, just like that. Like, guess what, everyone? That's why I say he needs to get his brain right. You don't got the mental side of it, you ain't going to win nothing.
Yeah.
That's me being fair and unbiased and not trying to be a dick, but it's true. Get his head on right. He can drive. His brain ain't there right now. And we called it that Monday after Michigan to stop boo-hooing all of it away. And now he went from 4 straight top 10s to back to old Bubba that we all knew and didn't love. Going.
I mean, I feel like he deserves every bit of knowing. He deserves every bit of knowing that for you to finish second at a track with Kevin Harvick like that, and having people like Kyle Larson not wrecking out and still outrunning them, take that as a feat. Like that's a good thing. Like, you won something there. You may not have won the race, but you won something there for you and your team. Take that. No, he's too much of a freaking chicken shit, and he wants to bitch about everything.
Yeah.
And I don't like it because it makes him look stupid.
Had all that respect you could have gained, and instead you poo-pooed it away and acted like a child. Which is why we all tell him.
I'll be honest. When I rewatched the race the next day after Bella was born, I was content with the whole day for him, until sitting there and all of a sudden the interviews come up, and there's Bubba Wallace crying and complaining. I'm going. I looked at Bella. I went, he just won. What? He's an idiot.
Win.
That's a win for him. I don't care how he sees it.
That was a win.
And that's where Denny and Michael Jordan step up and go, hey, that's good.
That's not the killer instinct that we're looking for on this team. When we don't hire bitches. Actually, that's another story. But that's a good launching point. We were actually nice to Bubba, and he poo-pooed it away. And now he's right back down in the funk. Might not all be 100% his funk, but there's a reason when you go from not being able to get out of the top 10 and running good all the time to suddenly finishing way out of it, like no matter what happened. But that's when you have a dark cloud over you, bad things happen. So keep everything up and positive and happy, especially when you're actually running good. If Ty Dillon still says he thinks he's going to win races
through
Hell and Denny
62 winless streak or whatever it was,
65, 100,000.
Just know that was one, a rarity for Kevin. That doesn't happen anymore for him. And 2, he, for the most part, stayed positive through it, unless something stupid happened to him on somebody else's ignorance. Then he was not too happy. But otherwise, he stayed pretty positive.
He was positive on the team.
Drought.
Like, what we're going through, son. We're going to figure it out. We will get out of it. And then everyone watch the. Oh, dear Kevin, stay way the hell in the back. You'll never hear this. Your ass better be back there. I don't want to see you anywhere near the top.
34 of 36.
Yeah. Hell, I don't even care if you're 36, 30, but just barely coasting on the back of the pack. No.
Stay there for a bit. Well, I mean, he's pretty smart at those tracks about that usually. I
don't
mean,
give a
for the
damn.
most part,
The hill back there.
you usually see him go just like this. Right on back to the rear.
Coaster on the damn track for qualifying. He's on it. He's driving back. He's going 60. He sure is. 9 minutes later. I'm coming. I'm coming. Drive by with your hand out the window. Yeah. But stay in the back. That's where I'm leaving.
I'd be the smartest. I'd be the smartest to come there and be like, I thought I was driving one of the normal, like the Richard Petty experience cars, you know. I thought it only went 165. I didn't know it went more than that.
That goes 60. Don't just be straight. Just he's not trying. Yeah, they can't get you for minimum speed on one lap. But again, or I get cut off again. That's where we're leaving it.
Sorry, yeah.
Hour 8, 9. That's not bad. So again, find the short YouTube Rumble, subscribe to it, share them out. Let us know what you think, because there's a lot of stuff that people have a lot of feelings about or shit on that. So let us know, follow along, share it out, and enjoy your weekend. I might be back. Who knows? But be good to each other and peace.